Hey LAN party gamers, welcome to the moving vlog. I guess it's not really a moving vlog if we're not moving, but we're going to be moving all of the tables and all the play area from the garage here out of the garage. If you've seen any of our LAN party videos in the past, you'll know the garage is where we do most of our LAN party gaming. There's Juan. Hey. Yeah, there he is. So we're going to be replacing all of the tables. We got donated new tables that are custom cut and CNC just for the garage here. So stay tuned. You're going to watch us tear all this down, say goodbye to some LAN party history, and make some new ones. So stay tuned. Alright, so it's Friday, and it's Brian and Chase here. And we're about to drive from SDLHQ in Bonita to Lake Havasu. I've never been. So we're bringing y'all along for the ride, and if there's anything interesting, I'll turn the camera back on. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it off to save battery. So hopefully you'll see you when they get there. Okay, so we're here at Fab. We're in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and Chase's dad, Paul, has hooked us up with this awesome laminated board for our new tabletops. So he's cut them for us already. We just got to load them into the van and head back down to San Diego. It's awesome. So big shout out to Paul and Chase from Fab. Check them out. Just hardwood floored his van.
All right, 12:30.
Well, we're back in San Diego, pulled in at about 8 o'clock, and now it's time to start assembling tables so we can get ready to paint them tomorrow. Chase has already started routing the edges so they're not razor sharp and cutting our hands anymore. So, here we go. Alright, so we got the legs and the centerpiece on the table, and then Chase is going to put some holes in the sides so that the network cables and power cables are able to make their way through. So we won't have all these cables to trip over on the center table. We'll just have it go right through the middle there. Should be pretty cool. Well, hi everybody. That's the next day, and we are sanding and painting today. We've got the edges that you saw us route last night, and the guys are furiously doing some sanding, and then we're going to put the paint on it after the fact to make it a little bit water resistant. So, there they go. Okay, so sanding's done, and now we just gonna tape it up, and we've got to get the corners, so we're just putting a piece of tape over it, and then we're using a knife to make it nice and smooth, and then we'll get to painting. Woo! Oh, and there's tarps. Okay, so we got it all taped off, and we got the tarp down so that we don't paint my garage door, or my garage floor, rather. And we're just mixing the paint. This is the same paint we used on the inside of the shed, the YouTube studio. So we have plenty of it, and we're gonna use that on the part we just sanded and taped. So, yeah. Okay, so as you guys can see, we removed everything from the top shelf. That would be all these computers behind me. And we're gonna actually be lifting that shelf up, but for now we're gonna take all this pegboard down so we can install actual wall plugs for everybody at the LAN and keystone jacks for all the network. There it is. Glad I got that on film. Okay, so we're on day, like, 5-ish? Who keeps track? Anyway, so we're gonna do all the power. We're taking out all the power that was existing, that we were using for the garage, and we're gonna be putting in new lines, new power boxes, strips, and running it to all the tables, installing the tables, and then putting the wall back up behind me. So that's what we're gonna do. We've uncovered this panel that powered the entire garage, and we're going to split that into a new breaker. How was the old one wired though?
So we were just using one leg of this 220, which gives you 110, and it's on a 50 amp breaker. So this 110 50 amp was powering the whole garage, but from here it was only going to a 16 gauge wire and drawing 50 amps through it. So now we're going to rewire this to another sub panel, and now we'll have 4 20 amp circuits coming from it.
Nice.
Oh, if only if I was 4 inches taller.
Then you would never fit.
Nobody's ever.
No, yeah.
Aha! Those have thorns.
I already got one thing in my eye this week. I don't need 2. So, this is professionally installed. This is how LAN Party does it. Cable management. Yeah. Alright, so we're putting the power boxes in. This is going to be power for every single person on the sidewall before we put up the wall and then put up the tables. So we're just measuring exactly how high they need to be so that if we ever make the tables flip up, they'll be avoiding the wall plates. They're going to be pretty flush. And there's going to be 2 power per person and a network jack right in the wall. So it's going to be pretty cool. So we've got about 28 feet of pre-terminated patch cable. that we're going to be running in through the wall for the side behind the pegboards. So that'll be all ran behind. All right, moment of truth. Does the cutting work out? It works to me. Look at this. That was a pretty nice wall. So everybody, we spent the night getting the wall finished, and we cut the underboards right here that hold up the shelves. These shelves are going to be used to hold up the dells that you remember from Robert. Robert's been helping me put the shelves up. So anyway, they're going to be holding up the 12 dells that we use for the loaner systems that you might have seen in our GoFundMe. And when we're not using them and we need a place to store them, that's way above the LAN party area. So this is brand new board that we're using. It's not going to slouch. It's about almost twice as thick as the board we were using to hold up the systems. And we're using L brackets and really thick screws in order to keep them up against the wall and from falling. Then we're also using the force to keep the board nice and tight against the wall. Our next step is we're going to be mounting the network infrastructure, the switches, as well as the little server that runs the lights and whatnot in the room to the bottom of this board right here, so that all the network cables are going to come from between those boards, down in between, through the hole that we pre-drilled, and then into the back side of the switch. And all you'll see is the lines coming down and then the lights shining on front. So I think it'll look pretty cool. Alright, well, it's been a couple of hours since my last vlog update, and basically what we've done is we finished the shelf. We got the L brackets up there. We went to the store and got these metal pieces here with the 6 holes in them, and we sandwiched the board top and bottom with bolts where they separate so that it will not flex. So if one piece moves, it's secured by the other piece, and then everything is secured by these posts, L brackets, and screws going up through them into the posts themselves. Goes all the way down. The new board stops here, and then what we did was we took the 2 pieces of old board and we sandwiched them together and then bolted them together here as well. So that's all done. I was able to hang from it, barely flexed at all. So it's over 200 pounds right there on a single spot. I think they'll be able to hold up computers, no problem. Also, what we went ahead and did was we mounted, like I was talking about earlier, the power network switch and the little server that runs the webcams and the lights in the room straight to the bottom of the board. And just in case on the server, I went ahead and put this L bracket. It doesn't actually attach to this thing. All it does is keep it from sliding forward. And then, because right now it's up and then it slides back, and that keeps it on there. So they're all pretty darn secure up there. And now we're just going to start putting stuff up here to store. Then we get to work on this wall. This wall here, we're going to do basically the same thing. We're going to put the power boxes in as well as the network infrastructure, and that's going to be our next step. So stay tuned. Well, hello everybody again. It's been another hour and a half since the last update. So we moved all of the stuff behind me from over there to over here. And what's going to happen, the reason why we did that is, you see, we already ran the electrical down from the sub panel that we did on the other day. And now we're going to start putting all the boxes on the wall just like we did on the other wall, so that it is identical. There's going to be 6 outlets, 12 outlets, and 6 Ethernet cables, just like on the other wall. So we theoretically could fit 6 people over here. It's more likely going to be 5, but in extreme cases we might be able to fit 2 people really snug together. Maybe somebody wants to sit on somebody's lap. I don't know, I don't judge. As long as they want to pay to be here, happy for that. And so there you can tell that there used to be storage up here along the wall. This will get covered up by probably people's towers or maybe more storage. So we'll see. We might add storage to the top of here, probably like it used to be. But so right now we're going to go ahead and put those boxes in, drop the power, and maybe put in some conduit, depending on how much time we have left in the day. So stay tuned. All right, well, that's going to be it for at least tonight's updates. We did, obviously we put in all of the boxes here, and you see them spaced out like that. That's because they're in studs. These aren't going to go anywhere. You can tug on these all day long. Computers are going to be plugging in, plugging out of that. The sideways ones are going to be for the network jacks. It's the exact same as on the other wall, except they're vertical, because they're on either side of a stud and inside the wall, where these are surface mounted. So we did it like this so that they're on a stud, and then the network cables are coming down from the ceiling. 2 of them are going to go in this box, side by side, for the network. For power, we're going to run the power underneath, like that, to each box. So the power is going to be in conduit on the wall, going underneath the network into the next box. So it should be pretty seamless. There'll be some piping on the wall, but that's okay. And there are 3 boxes each of each type. 2 network, 4 power, 2 network, 4 power, 2 network, 4 power. So that's going to be it for this update, and time for bed. It was a long weekend, but we got a lot accomplished, so pretty happy. There's all the loaner rigs up there, and all the network cables coming down, as you can see from the different sides there. So we still got a couple more network cables to run, but got a lot done this weekend, so I'm happy. Thanks for watching.